This weekend, NXT is heading to Tampa, Florida for NXT Battleground, and this is the Aussie Cousins Wrestling Show NXT Battleground preview. So in our Wrestling's Predictions League, Mikey Spencer's up on me 41-36. Let's see if my predictions for this weekend can come true. Let's dive straight into it. The first match on the card is Josh Briggs teaming up with the Tag Team Champions Hank and Tank to take on the Culling, which will be Shawn Spears, Nico Vance, and Brooks Jensen, with of course Izzy Dame in their corner. So this is the latest match to be added to this card, with Shawn Spears beating Josh Briggs on NXT this week, and then all of the Culling got into the ring to beat him down, and he was saved by the Tag Team Champions Hank and Tank. So for this match, we are both predicting that the Culling will be winning this one, and Mikey has an angle alert, and of course if he gets this right, he adds 2 more points to his tally for the year, and that is that during that match, Josh Briggs actually turns on Hank and Tank and sides with his former tag team partner Brooks Jensen and officially joins the Culling, with Brooks and Briggs back together as a tag team. The North American Women's Championship is up next, and the champion Sol Ruca is taking on the very first champion Kelani Jordan. These two had a really good match last year, although some people thought it was a bit contrived and choreographed. I really liked it, and by the end of it they actually did hit each other pretty hard. And of course the story of this one is that Kelani needed to get through Zarya to get a chance at the title, and in the first match against Zarya there was a bit of a distraction on the outside involving Sol Ruca, which then saw Zarya absolutely nail a spear for Kelani to go through the barricade, then send it back into the ring for the F5 and get the win. And then this week on NXT, finally Kelani Jordan was actually able to get over Zarya, and she managed to get herself into the match and onto the NXT Battleground card. I think this is going to lead towards the end of Zarya and Sol as a pairing, even though they are a fantastic pairing and a lot of fun. But both of us are picking Sol Ruca to win this match and retain the Women's North American Championship. The third match that we have on NXT Battleground is Channing Stacks Lorenzo, the former underboss, going against the Don of NXT, Tony DAngelo. This is as personal as it gets for an NXT match, after Stacks turned on Tony DAngelo at Stand and Deliver. And then of course Luca Crucifino met with Stacks in one of the episodes somewhere in the desert, and he hasn't been seen of again. Adriana Rizzo was then put into a safe house, but of course it was a safe house that Stacks knew exactly where it was, because it's one that the DAngelo family have actually used before. It's all a little bit weird, it's all mafia stuff, but both of us are actually picking Stacks to get the win here. And Mikey has got another angle alert for this match, and this is his second one for the night. So Mikey is picking that Luca Crucifino is going to come into the ring at some point, and he has that famous crowbar that the DAngelo family loves to use. He looks like he's going to attack Stacks with it, but then he hits Tony DAngelo, turning on the Don, helping Channing Stacks Lorenzo to get the win and officially siding with Stacks. Of course, these two have been a tag team, and they're actually a really good tag team together, Stacks and Luca Crucifino, so that would actually be a really good pairing going forward. Before we get to the next match, please make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any Aussie Cousins Wrestling content. We put out videos every single week, and while you're there, make sure you like the video and leave a comment down below with who you think is going to win at NXT Battleground. Next up, we have Joe Hendry putting his TNA Championship on the line for the very first time on a WWE show against Trick Williams. Now this one is another one that has been getting pretty personal after they have attacked each other and took each other out of matches in the last few weeks, and it will be very interesting to see whether or not they actually allow an NXT superstar to hold the TNA Championship. It certainly will bring some extra eyes to TNA, so I would not be surprised if they do it. And in fact, both of us are going to pick Trick Williams is going to be the one to be victorious in this match. And I have a bit of an angle alert for this one, in that I think Dark State are going to come out with the lights flickering, maybe even a ref bump somewhere along the line, and they attack Joe Hendry and help Trick Williams to get the win. Now remember a few weeks ago when Joe Hendry made his first appearance on NXT after WrestleMania, that Dark State came out to attack him. And of course that led to a match with Joe Hendry with Hank and Tank up against Dark State, which of course Trick got involved. And I just think there's got to be a reason why Dark State have been involved along the way, and I think they're going to get involved here and help Trick to get the win. And now the two big NXT Championship matches coming up. First of all, we have the Women's Championship match, and this is between Stephanie Vaquer and Jordynne Grace. And to be honest, there aren't too many bigger pairings in all of women's wrestling at the moment. These two are absolutely fantastic in the ring, and I hope they put on one hell of a banger. Of course, these two had to do the old coexist angle a couple of weeks ago when they took on Fallon Henley and JC Jane in an incredibly hard-hitting match. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. It was genuinely fantastic. The week before, I think it was, Jordynne Grace had to actually beat Julia, who is now obviously up on Smackdown. But she had to beat Julia to get herself the #1 contendership for the match in another very hard-hitting match. And we are split on this match. Mikey thinks that Jordynne Grace is actually going to get the win and hold the NXT title for the first time. And you know what? She should probably be holding a title very, very soon, considering how much fanfare she came with coming into the WWE and NXT, of course. But I think Stephanie Vaquer is going to retain. I think at some point later this year, she's going to lose her title and then probably be put up to the main roster full time. I don't think that's going to happen just yet, so we are split on this match. And finally, we have the NXT Men's Championship match between Oba Femi and Myles Borne. And let me just say, as a dad of two girls, one who's had her own few challenges in the last couple of years, some of the stuff that Myles Borne has been saying in the last couple of weeks with his promos has been utterly inspiring. This guy is about as strong a babyface as it gets in the WWE at the moment. I have absolutely loved the way they have just let him speak and let him be himself and get his messages out there, and there hasn't really been too much of a put down towards him because of it. And we are split on this match that I believe that Oba Femi is going to retain, but Mikey is going to go for the big upset, and he thinks that Myles Borne is going to be the babyface champion and he is going to beat Oba Femi in this match. But I have a bit of an angle alert for this one, and I think that after the match, Myles Borne is going to get a lot of respect from the crowd and of course from his NQCC brethren. And then after Tavian Heights and Ren Sinclair go out of the ring, Charlie Dempsey hangs around and attacks Myles Borne. He then runs off before Tavian Heights can get back into the ring, turning on the NQCC and becoming a bad guy properly, while Myles Borne, Tavian Heights and Ren Sinclair are finally proper baby faces. So what do you think is going to happen at NXT Battleground? Please let us know in the comments down below. And while you're there, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more Aussie Cousins Wrestling content. And the most important thing from me, of course, is I hope you all have a wonderful day.